Okay, so what we're going to do now is this is what's considered plyometric. That is plyometric meaning body weight. And whenever I do anything from a body weight standpoint, even in some cases if I'm working with certain weights, I believe in working on the status of C notes. And if you might have noticed in a couple of the other drills, I may have mentioned this. A C note is basically a century note. In other words, we're after 100 reps. And this particular drill, which is going to be using the bench, is something where we're going to work 100 reps. That's going to work the quads right here, and you're also going to feel it right up into the glutes. And it's an excellent one because it requires core as well. So I always do like, from the standpoint of plyometrics, that it has the opportunity of working more than one particular muscle. So it's what I consider it is the most green effect for the body, in that you are using everything possible with whatever kind of motions that you do, generally speaking, from a plyometric standpoint. So here's what we're going to do. It's a factor of we're going to work a set of 25 reps. And the first set of 25 is going to be sideways. Now, the key, because we want to work the legs, is that it's all about our heel. Because if we use our heel will drive it up into the glutes and here. We never want to lean over forward on it because that's pressure on the knee. The one key thing, always remember whenever doing anything from a squat standpoint, is that that knee should never go over or even to where your toe is. Anytime you get to that danger point and over, it all goes in to the knee. Now the body will, due to fatigue, begin to want to go that direction, but we're not going to let it, because we want to save our knee. We want to get the maximum out of it. So what I'm going to have you do when you do these is I want you to curl your toes in the air. Focus on your heel driving straight up. Now we're going to work from this standpoint, which means we're not going to turn, we're going to keep straight ahead. That's the key. And again, elbows are in tight, core is engaged, and off that heel we're going to do a stand up. Straight up and back down. Straight up, back down. Notice that I'm locking my knee every time coming up. I want to hold it for a second and then come back down. So we're going to do 25 of those. The next that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going, and I suggest if you're uncomfortable, and again, you want a high enough surface where your leg is basically a 90-degree angle on this one. So whether it's a bench at the gym or a very, very sturdy chair, that's what you want. But the next step is, and I usually even recommend play off a wall, because if anything, it gives you the sense of you have a safety net. So once we do, and I started with the right foot, you can start with the left, whatever, but we're going to stay strictly, with the right through this. So we've done 25 there. Then our next step is we're going to come over here, face straight into the wall, and once we're facing into the wall, again, we're going to keep that core tight and our body straight up. We don't want to touch the wall, but it's there if we feel like we're losing balance. So again, toe is curled up, heel drives, we're coming straight up and back down. Straight up, back down. So we've got 25 and 25. Our next step is we're going to go now to the other side, and we're going to repeat, working it sideways, working it forward. If you count that up, 25, 25, 25, 25, that set equals a C note. Now the goal is we can play with this. We can go one set of everything as a C note, or we can say, you know what, I want to get 100 sides and I want to get 100 fronts, which simply means that you're going to go through that 4 times. Always playing out with how you're feeling, working through it, because the one thing we never want to do is compromise, especially when we're stepping high, because we have a knee to worry about, and we want to make sure that knee is always going to be strong. The one thing you also notice from this is you're going to feel it here. If you don't feel it here, it means there's too much going other places that shouldn't be going. The core should feel it, the oblique should feel it, the quads will feel it, and the glute will feel it. And that's one of the best type of step-ups that I've ever dealt with. And I do these as often as I can because they just work fantastic. And you'll feel it the next day. But give that one a try and let me know what you think.